Corporate directors owe fiduciary duties of loyalty to the corporation and its shareholders to refrain from self-dealing. Despite these duties, directors often engage in transactions on behalf of the corporation that personally benefit them. In the 1987 case Marciano v. Nakash, the Delaware Supreme Court considered whether directors who loaned money to the corporation out of their own personal funds breached their fiduciary duties when the loan was intrinsically fair. In 1983, the Marciano family owned Guess, a California corporation that designed and distributed stylized jeans. At the same time, the Nakash brothers owned Jordache Enterprises, a New York corporation that was a leading manufacturer of jeans on the East Coast. The Marcianos sought to broaden Guess's retail market and entered into negotiations with the Nakash brothers. Ultimately, the Marcianos agreed to give the Nakashes 50% of Guess's stock for $4.7 million in funding, and the Nakash brothers joined the Marcianos on Guess's board of directors. In 1984, the Marcianos and Nakashes launched Gasoline Limited, a Delaware corporation that marketed designer jeans and sportswear. Although corporate control and direction of Gasoline were equally divided among the Marcianos and Nakashes, Gasoline operated in New York under the Nakashes' guidance. In addition, Guess continued to operate under the Marcianos' guidance. In 1985 and 1986, without consulting the Marcianos, the Nakashes loaned Gasoline $2.3 million out of their own personal funds to pay outstanding bills and acquire inventory. Later, the Nakashes arranged for UF Factors, an entity they owned, to assume the loans given to Gasoline. Subsequently, due to differences between the Marcianos and Nakashes as to how to operate Gasoline, the Marcianos sued the Nakashes in Delaware Chancery Court, seeking the appointment of a custodian for Gasoline. The court appointed a custodian who recommended liquidation of Gasoline. The court then approved a plan of liquidation, finding that the loans given by the Nakashes were valid and enforceable debts of Gasoline, and authorized the custodian to pay off the debts. The Marcianos appealed to the Delaware Supreme Court.